Okay, so season 5, episode 7 of The Last Ship, um, which I think they should have just called it We Blow Shit Up. Because that's pretty much what this episode was. It was a long, drawn out battle for American troops and Cuban rebels to take over Camp X, which they believe Salazar is hiding in. And Salazar, as we know, is Tavo's puppet leader of Cuba. Right. So a lot of people died, not a lot of named people, but we did see Miller lose his legs. He's flown off in an evac chop, told that, as Miller begs for his legs, he's told his legs are his life. So I think it's pretty much safe to assume that Miller is going to survive, but we've probably seen the last of him in action, and because it's so late in the season, we're not really going to find out how he's going to deal with this loss. Okay, so as you know, everyone is still looking for Kelsey. Sure enough, Ellie is brought in because the signal, when Octavio called Kelsey, was picked up in Southcom, and Ellie is brought in for questioning, and she just, my sister, she's confused, she gets easily drawn in, this is really Octavio's fault, what is going on? And she's trying to cover for her sister's epic mess up, and she reveals that Kelsey took her car. Okay, here's my issue with the whole thing with Kelsey. This idea that it's these terrible brown people who are corrupting this American white woman, and she's a fanatic because of them, a conspiracy nut because of them, has killed people because of them. Like, if you allow yourself to be manipulated to the point where you're responsible for the naval fleet of your country being destroyed, it is not the evil brown people. You are actually the evil one. And I think the part that gets me is like the Latinx people that she's surrounded by. I think that Kelsey is nothing but dirt beneath their feet. It's so clear from the look some of the women give her. And furthermore, Octavio just looks at her like she's some kind of pet dog. Right? How does she not pick that up? And I know that the last ship really isn't that deep, and they're probably going to play this off as some sort of mental illness, but I really think that this is about, a white savior complex, ultimate white desirability. Like, there are a lot of reasons why Kelsey can't see what's right in front of her face. The problem is the last ship isn't the show to really, really explore that. So Octavio's got this plan, and he goes to Michael's house. Now, Michael is a paramedic, and he basically calls Michael a sellout for working for the enemy, right? And he tells Michael that it's time for him to pay back by now working for Tavo. Michael really doesn't have a choice in the matter because they threaten his daughter. So anyway, there we get Kelsey. She's in Southcom, and Slattery goes to question her, and she's like, "Well, let's start off with food." So of course they agree to feed her, and she starts to go into a seizure, which has them worried about maybe some kind of poisoning. So they call in paramedics, led in by Michael, and of course Octavio's people come bursting in, and it's obvious that what's going to happen is they're going to try to take out Southcom. And way over in Cuba, when Tom sees the bunker, he figures out what's going on too. The problem is he's too far away to basically help Southcom. So Slattery better figure this shit out fast, or he may be the next casualty we end up losing before the end of Last Ship. Nothing big really happened. I mean, I guess if you like watching like the war scenes, if you enjoy seeing battles and tanks and helicopters coming in and shit exploding, and the whole "we shed the same blood and the same mud," rah rah, go American military, and this is a victory for them, you will probably enjoy this episode. It certainly was not for me. I much prefer the more narrative episodes rather than the battle episodes, but that's what Last Ship has tried to be for a very long time, right? One freaking long ass 5 year long war movie. And I think that this episode pretty much encapsulates it because we got a little bit of narrative movement with what was going on with Southcom, but the majority of the episode, and I would wager to say a good 90% of this episode was all about the battle for Campax. We'll see where this takes it. Miller's out of the game. They've now captured Campax. May potentially have some captured some strong intel to see what Tavo's doing now, and Southcom is about to be raided. So maybe this is just a setup for a more narrative-rich episode 8. I hope so, because I don't enjoy the battle episodes. We'll see where this goes. But either which way, at this point, the writers have 3 more episodes to wrap this up, and then that's it. It's good night. We will be done with The Last Ship.